In the world of love and connection, we're often taught that happiness comes from someone else, how much they like us, how often they text, how deeply they care. But what if that's not the full truth? What if your peace, your confidence, your joy didn't rely on anyone else's behavior? Imagine living in a way where your mood isn't controlled by mixed signals or someone's sudden silence. Where you're no longer waiting to be chosen, because you've already chosen yourself. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's a mindset rooted in something ancient and powerful, Stoicism. A philosophy that teaches strength through self-mastery and freedom through detachment from what you can't control. So how does this connect to being missed, to leaving a mark in someone's mind? Today we're exploring a new approach, one that doesn't involve chasing or clever tactics, but becoming so grounded, so whole within yourself, that your presence lingers long after you're gone. Because here's the truth, the more self-reliant you become, the more magnetic you are. When you stop needing someone to notice you, that's exactly when they do. We'll unpack the Stoic path to becoming unforgettable, not by performance but through peace. Not through control, but by becoming someone who doesn't need to be remembered in order to feel whole. So if you're ready to shift your energy, deepen your self-worth, and embody something rare in today's world, stick around. Make sure to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Every moment is crafted to help you step into a calmer, wiser, more powerful version of yourself. Let's dive in. Number 1. Prioritize self-growth over external approval. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to tie your happiness to someone else's approval? Maybe it's the rush of getting likes on a post, a text you were hoping for, or that little spark of validation when someone finally notices you. Feels good, until it doesn't. Because when the attention fades, so does your mood. And suddenly your peace is in someone else's hands. But what if it didn't have to be that way? Here's the truth. The more we rely on others to confirm our value, the more we lose touch with our own. It's like handing over the remote control to your emotions and just hoping they'll press the right buttons. This is where Stoicism becomes your superpower. This ancient philosophy teaches us to focus only on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and how we respond to life. We can't force others to like us, miss us, or show up how we wish they would. But we can take ownership of how we show up for ourselves. Self-growth is the quiet, powerful alternative to chasing validation. It's about building strength through discipline, finding peace through perspective, and fueling joy from the inside out. That doesn't mean cutting people off or pretending we don't care. It means choosing not to depend on their approval to feel whole. And here's the paradox. When you stop chasing attention and start nurturing your mind, your purpose, your passions, you naturally stand out. People are drawn to those who are steady, curious, passionate, people who don't need to be noticed to feel complete. So instead of waiting for someone to make you feel important, become important to yourself. Invest in your growth. Develop your character. Build the life that fulfills you with or without applause. Because the moment you make that shift, you stop reacting and start leading. And that makes you not only fulfilled, but unforgettable. And in the next lesson, we'll explore how your presence, without even saying a word, can communicate everything about your value. Number 2. Let go of control, find real power. The Stoics had a timeless insight. Most of our anxiety, frustration, and emotional exhaustion doesn't come from life itself. It comes from trying to bend life to our will. We want everything to go our way. We try to shape outcomes, fix people, control situations. And when things fall apart, as they often do, we're left feeling powerless, defeated, and stuck. But here's the twist. Stoicism doesn't say, give up. It says, let go of the illusion that you were ever in control of everything to begin with. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Because the more we grip, the more life slips through our fingers. But when we loosen that grip, when we focus on our own responses, not their reactions, we discover something liberating. We were never meant to control everything, only ourselves. That's where real power lives. The Stoics teach us to shift our attention inward, to master our thoughts, our actions, our character. And in doing so, we develop patience. We become more emotionally steady, more open to uncertainty. We stop demanding the world bend to us, and instead we meet it where it is, fully grounded. Letting go doesn't mean being passive. It means being intentional. It means showing up with effort, integrity, and heart, while releasing our attachment to specific outcomes. When we accept that we can't control how others act or how life unfolds, we begin to breathe easier. We start to engage with life on our own terms. Every challenge becomes a lesson, every twist a chance to practice grace. And in relationships, this mindset is everything. You stop trying to change people. You stop overthinking their silence or clinging to what is. You start showing up as someone peaceful, present, and deeply rooted. That's where emotional strength begins. And as we move forward, the next lesson will take this even deeper. We'll explore the quiet power of nonverbal presence, and how what you don't say can speak volumes about your inner strength. Number 3. Emotional strength begins with you. At the heart of Stoicism is a liberating truth. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. And that shift, that's where your emotional freedom begins. Stoicism isn't about becoming numb or pretending things don't affect you. It's about understanding your emotions, without letting them drive the car. It's the art of staying calm in chaos, of recognizing a feeling without becoming consumed by it. Because here's the trap. When you hand your emotional state over to someone else's behavior, you give away your power. But when you learn to self-regulate, you become unshakable. From traffic stress to relationship tension, life will throw things at you. The Stoic approach isn't to avoid these moments, it's to meet them with awareness. To pause, breathe, and ask, is this worth my peace? That mindset builds a quiet kind of independence. Not the kind that isolates you, but the kind that anchors you. It allows you to love people deeply without leaning on them for your happiness. You stop chasing reassurance and start building inner stability. This is where real connection begins. Because when you're emotionally grounded, you don't love out of fear. You don't cling. You connect from a place of clarity, not chaos. And life becomes less about control and more about flow. The Stoics reminded us, change is nature. The key is adapting, not resisting. So how do we strengthen this emotional muscle? Start with awareness. Check in with your thoughts when you're triggered. Ask yourself if your reaction fits the moment, or if it's an old story replaying. Practice gratitude. Align your days with your values. Reflect more. React less. Being stoic doesn't mean standing alone. It means being your own lighthouse in the storm. You're not waiting to be rescued. You're learning to guide yourself with wisdom that's lasted centuries. And the more you live from that center, the more your resilience grows, and so does your joy. Number 4, building a meaningful life. What does it truly mean to live a meaningful life? For many, the default answer is what society has trained us to chase. Money, fame, admiration, the next big achievement. We're taught to measure life by outward success. But the Stoics, thinkers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus, saw something deeper. They believed that real meaning isn't found in chasing things outside of us. It's in how we live, how we think, how we choose to show up each day. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to align our lives with nature, not in the environmental sense, but in the nature of who we are and the rhythm of the universe around us. It challenges us to live with intention, to strip away the noise and ask, what really matters? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. A lot of what we chase isn't meaning, it's distraction. We run toward achievements, approval, and applause, hoping they'll fill the void. But meaning doesn't come from being noticed. It comes from being aligned. The Stoic path invites us to dive inward, to stop living reactively and start living reflectively. It asks us to examine not just what we do, but why we do it. Are we living according to our values? Or are we simply checking boxes society handed us? Living meaningfully isn't about having the perfect job, the perfect partner, or a life without pain. It's about engaging with the world from a place of virtue, wisdom, and honesty. It's about becoming a person you'd respect, even if no one else is watching. And when life throws challenges your way, and it will, Stoicism teaches you not to crumble but to rise. Pain becomes a teacher. Failure becomes feedback. Every struggle becomes a mirror reflecting who you are and who you're becoming. It's in the quiet things too. The way you listen. The way you show up for someone without being asked. The discipline to keep going when no one's clapping. The courage to be kind when it would be easier not to be. And yes, it's in the daily rituals, taking time to reflect, checking in with your conscience, aligning your actions with your principles even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. When you build your life around that inner compass, rather than external validation, you begin to create a different kind of existence. One with depth. One with integrity. One with peace. You stop chasing happiness and start becoming the kind of person who naturally experiences it. And that's the real beauty of Stoicism. It's not just a philosophy for scholars or monks. It's for you. For me. For anyone willing to live with clarity and courage. Because in the end, living a meaningful life isn't about having more. It's about being more. More intentional. More grounded. More true to yourself. Let's continue this journey of growth and self-discovery together. For more insight, check out one of the suggested videos on your screen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until we meet again, remember, the most meaningful journey is the one that leads inward.